Hello guys, my name is Ben, and I talk about anime. Yes guys, I know, my English is so bad, but I hope you understand me. Well, subscribe to my channel and enjoy watching this video. Let's go. In Coexistence Academy, the boys are forced to coexist with the girls by throwing away their masculinity, following a mirror, transforming there without knowing anything, and was then surrounded in class by a group of armed girls. At the 5-sort meeting, they discuss about what to do with the new transfer student. The audience also gets to know that Namura started a brawl as old school and injured more than 30 people, both serious and mirror. Though he was injured the most of all. In the school grounds, the mirror meets Masaka, an rougher shock at Moscow's cross-dressing appearance. And after, the mirror insults him through accidentally by first calling him a Buddha and then a pig. Masako tells him that a Buddha statue actually exists in the school and that all boys have to dress like this to coexist with the girls in the school, and warns him not to do anything rash. Nomura laughs it off, however, and says that he is a man who likes freedom. The audience can also see that Masaka is in the same class as Onagawa. After a bit of talking and introduction of the purpose of the 5 swords to keep the order in the school, Onagawa gives him the choice to enter, coexist, or leave the school, in which Namura replied that he will take neither choice. She then declares that before homeroom is over, she will correct Namura. He then says the color of the girl's underwear, out distracting everyone, whilst he jumps out of the window and runs. She follows him and asks him how far he is going to run, to which Namura replies by asking if it were allowed for him to leave the school grounds. She then tells him that he needs an exit permit for all 5 swords to exit. The other 5 swords all pay attention to their battle and commenting about Anagawa and Namura skills. Skills Honor, her subordinate, notices her fighting and leaves homeroom to go find her. Then Anagawa uses Carpenter's square and manages to cut Namura. The mirror then takes out blade, proof gloves, and they continue their fight. The mirror eventually trips over a tree root, while Anagawa takes the opportunity to perform an outer rotation before using sickle on Namura, almost taking him out, if not for him moving with shimmering cloud again and getting to the side of Anagawa, putting his hand on her side. Anagawa congratulates him for being able to touch her and tells him that he is done for and raises her blade, to which he says that he has a gun, while she has a sword. Anagawa smiles and moves the blade down. The mirror then uses the magic bullet and Anagawa, which disables her and shock everyone watching expert ammo. Then Namura explains that he modified the defective technique of creating sword school and prevents Onagawa from taking her blade and punching him. Masanano appears in the school grounds and hits Namura on the head, which causes Namura to accidentally kiss into the wear, breaking the left side of her mask and shocking both of them. After Namura regains his senses, he quickly moves back and argues with Mason about the responsibility of the kiss. Then Anagawa picks up the blade, which scares both Namura and Mason. We try to talk her out of killing Namura and declares that she will castrate him, which Namura being astounded that she changed from correct. Later, it can be seen that Honor, the ward is still chasing Namura and trying to slice him on a mirror, declares that he will get the exit permit. The next day in class, Namura is shown to be the center of attention while he's holding some cakes he got from the smuggler. Rumors of him possibly kissing girls when they left their guard down is rampant in the class. Namura then calls out Saki by her underwear color, much to her embarrassment. When Namura asks her about the whereabouts of Anagawa, she seems to blame him for something, and another girl, Eva, comes forward and scolds him for being insensitive. In the next scene, a young girl walking with her smiling mother is shown with a farmer wearing a demon mask and a whole scenes in grey. Then it is shown that was a dream that on and were had in her room. She then thinks about Namura and begins hitting her bed with her pillow while scolding Namura with a lot of words and phrases such as "Playboy don't know when to shut up," "Fervent," before climbing down and reflecting that it was the first time she got pinned down and kissed before switching back to being angry and punching the pillow. Anagawa, though sensing a presence, picks up her son's sword sword and puts on her Rafor's destroyed mask and faces the door only for Namura to enter through the window and prevent her from taking her sword, stating that he was there for a sick visit while giving her the cakes. He then says that he could not tell her that she was a cute duo to her mask yesterday and got lucky to kiss her, leaving her frustrated. But when Namura asks for an exit permit, she states that she would not give one to him, no matter what. Namura appears to get angry, but then states indirectly that she would like to see her in her casual wear, which led to her ultimately want to give him the certificate. However, when Namura stated a few more kisses would then be a good trade for the certificate, she fainted and her fever go to hide thanks to her feelings. Following that, Namura grabbed her clothes to prevent her from falling to the floor, accidentally popping a button and revealing her breast just as Marzona enters the room, refusing to hear his explanations and pressing a button that activates lots of traps as Namura attempts to escape the girl's dormitory, all while declaring that she will castrate him after causing a mess in the girl's dorm. Namura is put under supervision of Rin. However, he becomes the target of another Supreme, Five Swords Mary, while Rin held Mary back, and Namura was chased by Chuka, the mirror met with the Empress, who Namura seems to know from before he transferred her. Namura is now supervised not only by Rin, but also by Mary. However, any outsider would say that they are not supervising him, but instead flirting with him. This angers the eldest member of the Supreme Five Swords War behind. Also consus Namura, Rin and Maria are forced to participate on Bloodsport Day, the 13th War of Impacts, based on Amira's efforts. The War of Impacts have ended well, but Warby isn't so one to give up so easily. She sets up a trap, inviting Namura to come to the school to get his promotion stamp from S as a reward for his victory. But on his way, he faces war by 34 with the help of Rin, Maria, Nona and Sugar. The mirror manages to advance, that is until he meets one of the Supreme Five Swords Satori Tamasha. Namura seems to have entered his popularity phase because of his great success at the War of BMX. The girls of the school follow him with hungry eyes, even though he spends his day as usual. Even the slightest action from him is followed by a wave of cheers. The mirror himself doesn't really think much of it, but Rin and Maria don't think it's funny, but the happy times can't continue forever. One morning, while he begs get chicken by Rin and Maria, like always, something falls out of his pocket. Thanks to Storia's tricks, the mirror's reputation is on the ground. It is worn by who has had an eye on him since the War of Epics, who trapped him inside the punishment room when Rin and Mary were out of sight. Only through acquiring stories, pictures can Namura prove his innocence. Thinking like that, Namura starts to attack War, but as well as Satori in a public bath for ladies. Namura is pretty disturbed by the fact that Satori isn't wearing any clothes. She still attacks him without any regard for his feelings. They just the kind of monster she is. When Namura opened his eyes, he was in the infirmary after the battle with Satori. Warby passed out and was brought in as well. Ren and Marin nothing about war, but are concerned about Namura and want to visit him, running into each other on the way. And while both of them forget what they were originally about to do, they start a strange fight. Meanwhile, Warby faces a different problem in the infirmary. This morning was Namura's worst so far. He woke up from a nightmare filled with his past cloud memories, colored in the red of blood. However, his attention was soon grabbed by the uproar happening in the dormitory caused by those who wouldn't understand and why kind of state he is in. Apparently, a monster in their bedroom. Meanwhile, in the girls' dorm, they have to deal with other problems because things keep disappearing, which shouldn't. And then the Empress Emma disappears as well. Sakuenabet is one of the heavenly Five Swords with extraordinary skills. He fights using Nakamura Jimmy, facing her godlike speed. Even a mirror can help, but be surprised as she realizes that her skillet is far above his own. But their talks are interrupted when they hear sounds of a fight coming from the rooftop of the school. Namura and Sucrio head there to see what is going on. When they arrive, the Empress has already disappeared. Namura screams, trembling with anger. The voices of them roar throughout the school. The intuition of Namura was correct. The Empress was Sam, who once believed that he was a friend and was betrayed, fought and deeply hated, and also remembers the old memories, with the bitter memories that were awakened. Their match is now being cut off. Namura will use Magic Bullet for the automatic counterattack and the defense of the Iron Wall to reach ammo, since the transfer the days of the lively and fun school that Namura spent with the circles. It was the day when the suffering of hell was played by the sword, as if the body was burned by flames. During the battle, various those comes to each other hearts. However, no matter how much the figs are mixed, the wishes of them never overlap. The more they understand each other, the farther they are from our hearts. And when it's finally settled in heavy rain, Namura and Amy finally arrived. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel. Well, you have been with you. See you later. Bye bye.